Tribe Talk. Today I have the lovely and talented Jacob with us. Welcome, Jacob.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Yeah, we have our holiday colors on today.
I'm rocking the red. You got the green and the red lipstick, so you know, it's all encompassing.
Yeah, it's officially holiday season. I cannot believe it's Cyber Week next week and Thanksgiving. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a kind of a stressful time, but it's really an exciting time. People make so much of their annual revenues during this time that it's both really exciting to try new things and wait to see the results, but it's also like, a lot to get done. Everybody's feeling it.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, Cyber Week 2019, we're going to be talking about that today, and we're also going to be talking about Facebook's new ad personalization features, as well as TikTok. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed our TikTok for you last week. We're going to be talking about TikTok, how they're testing social commerce capabilities. So, Jacob, what should we be expecting for Cyber Week 2019?
There's a lot to be expecting. You'll see a lot of new things rolling out. Some of the big sort of promotions that we're seeing a lot of mystery bundles. We're seeing a lot of buy more, save X sort of bundles, right? So people are moving away from the sort of site-wide 50% off deals from before and realizing they can use this time to really capitalize on getting people to buy a whole bunch of items and then maybe going for a free gift with purchase, or a whole bunch of items and maybe going for a deeper discount percentage off. So this isn't just about making people buy, especially not making people buy for the first time. It's about making, for instance, your repeat customers or customers that have bought from you once a little bit a while ago to buy more from you and buy from you at higher amounts than they typically would. Because if they're at, that $55 cart and they know that they can get a little something extra at $75, they're gonna do it on Black Friday. They're gonna find somebody who wants that as a gift. So these are the sort of things we're seeing ahead of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. The problem with that is our best ads, right? And we've seen this year over year, are the ones that are blatant and explicit as possible, right? Like no need for the cutesy UGC or anything else like that in your image. Customers want to see what kind of deal they're going to get. That's what's going to stop them in their feed and get them to the site. So the sort of juxtaposition of slightly more complicated deals and trying to get that message across in the feed I think that'll prove to be a bigger challenge as time goes on and deals do get more sort of complicated. But it's a fun challenge, and it's always it allows for lots of emojis, which we love.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Black Friday, I mean, people are just looking for the biggest deal. I mean, that's the motivation here, is like, that's what they're looking for. So as much as you can just push that out up front, I'm sure that's going to get people to buy.
Yeah, absolutely. We were just reading some stats not too long ago. Something like 60 some odd percent of American consumers expect that they're going to be buying something Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We sort of use that interchangeably. We just mean that general weekend, right? But if you talk to the under 40 crowd, I think it was up to age 35, that number jumps to 80%. So imagine 80% of people plan to buy something in this upcoming weekend. That's phenomenal. Like, that's your opportunity to get in front of people who are not just primed to purchase by, for instance, knowing you're a good brand or knowing you make a good product. They're primed to purchase by literally the time of the year. They have set aside money and budget and time to be like, yep, I'm going to go shopping. So that's the kind of customer you can expect to get in front of. And that number, I think, was also split. I have the numbers here, 56-44% people who are going to buy online versus in store. So that's almost an even split. And you wouldn't think that like brick and mortar would still be doing that well, but if you've got a brick and mortar, use your online to drive people to it, because apparently that's something still people want to do. They love the waiting in line. I don't know. I don't get it, but I get the people do it.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience, like getting out there on Black Friday. I think, obviously the promotions beforehand are really what's getting people there as well. Like they start looking for what are the discounts, and then it drives them. So that's really cool. So what would be your number one Black Friday, Cyber Monday tip for our viewers?
Right. So for instance, I would say make full use of automation. So other than the things we've talked about, like make sure your deal is really clear. Don't feel like you need to offer a site-wide discount, right? Feel free to incentivize people to buy more, not just to buy. Other than those things, I would say make use of the automation so that if you want to, you can spend time with your family. That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at things like Facebook's or Google's automated rules is to know that the algorithm is smarter than you are. You can definitely mean to come back and check your ads and be like, hey, if this ad set is making, 3x ROAS boosted another 20% of the budget, you can mean to do that, but are you necessarily going to? Whereas if you put a rule in place that tells Facebook to do that, it's totally going to do it for you. And if you keep that rule in place all weekend, what you're essentially telling Facebook or Google or for whatever rule you set up is like, if I'm performing, let me spend a little bit more money so long as I'm performing. You can set up rules in the reverse too. So if your return on ad spend or whatever your KPI is, right, cost per purchase, anything along those lines, drops down below a certain level, you can tell Facebook to stop the ad set, reduce the budget, any of that stuff. Just knowing that those automated rules, again, are going to be smarter than you and probably better than you at doing it in this weekend in particular when turkey, naps, football. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for you, but it's also like, we've been talking about this over and over again. Make sure you're going ahead and putting those ads in your account now. Like, the approval times are going to be slow. Like, there's so much that's going to be going on that, I think it's even better to go ahead and do that for yourself, but also for, just those approval times as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The sooner you can get your ads and your audiences in and the algorithm understanding those, even if you've gotten everything through an approval process, if you're going to test a new audience, put that audience in at a low $5 budget just so Facebook can get to know it ahead of, the world's biggest sale weekend, basically, right? So I think that the more you can front load, allow the automation to do, get approved ahead of time, the better off you're going to be from a personal health standpoint and also from an account health standpoint.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So what about Facebook's new personalization features?
All right. So Facebook has been doing this for a while, right? And what I would like to say, this is Facebook trying to take all of our jobs, right? So what they're saying now is that they're going to allow basically the same kind of thing they've allowed in dynamic ads previously. They're just allowing it on a greater number of ads, right? So essentially it's saying, hey, you know what, throw a whole bunch of image assets here, different sizes, videos, images, whatever it is, throw a whole bunch of copy, throw a whole bunch of headlines, whatever you want, throw them all into this one ad, and we're going to serve whichever one is the most viable to the customer at that time. Our algorithm, our machine learning knows what this customer would like to see, knows how they want to see it, knows how things want to be, knows how they want things to be phrased. We're going to choose for you what's best to show to those people. Just trust us. Now, that's awesome for a number of different reasons, right? It takes sort of some of the stress of manually testing things off of you, right? If you can say, I wonder if this headline works better than XYZ headline. I'm going to test them in an, A/B testing, which is what we've been doing forever and a half. Instead, Facebook's like, you know what, just throw them both in here. We'll serve the appropriate headline to the appropriate audience. Don't worry about it. If you're the kind of person who doesn't worry about it, go for it. It is low stress. It is probably not going to be hurtful, right? Like, I don't feel like this is something that's going to, especially if you test it against normal ads, right? Test it against regular single image ads or regular video ads or anything else like that. Test it against those things, and I doubt you would see a large drop, and you might see a pretty big increase in performance. Now, that said, these usually come with limitations, right? You're not going to be able to dupe them into different optimizations as easily. I don't think you can use them on carousel ads yet. You probably can't use them with a story format yet. There's a bunch of different little caveats that come with it. So depending on how meticulously you run your account, those might irk you. I know here at Ember Tribe, we're big fans of building social proof and then using a very social proof ad all throughout your conversion campaigns. That isn't necessarily possible with these ads that are sort of dynamically created on the fly. So just, it'll come with a couple caveats, but again, test it against something that you know that works, and you're probably not going to see it hurt your account, and you might see it give a significant boost if you're not worried about needing to dupe it or needing to build, exponential tons of social proof first. It's probably a good call.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I mean, machine learning is just like getting better and better. And I think basically, instead of, having to focus so much on the audience, since they're going to be doing that more and more for us, like, we're focusing on, the creative that we're like feeding into Facebook, and like really thinking through the audiences as we're building the creative. I think that's a really, really interesting that, like, I mean, just to get more and more focused in on that.
Yeah, it is. And they, what was like a year ago, maybe longer, they started telling us, just to leave everything at all placements, right? Stop trying to optimize for placements. And we did. And we all saw a pretty significant boost in performance. Like, oh my gosh, maybe Facebook actually does know exactly what it's talking about. Its algorithm, its machine learning is getting that smart. And this is just another continuation of that, right? It's like, okay, not only do we know the best placement, we know the best ad, we know the best format, we know the best copy, like, just trust us on this, which, for old school people like me, it's a little rough, but if it tests well, then go do. Yes, Facebook, go be the machine learning, star of the world.
Yeah, definitely. So TikTok, I know you're a huge fan of TikTok. So yeah.
I'm getting all flustered. Like I have issues with TikTok. Like honestly, I love TikTok so much. It sounds like it's bad, right? Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have issues with TikTok. No, I love TikTok. Like I read a stat, people who download TikTok spend an average of 52 minutes a day on TikTok. And I can 100% believe that. If it's me, I say that TikTok is like 30% more addicting than Instagram or Facebook or anything else. They're quick. For those of you who don't know, by the way, and I think we've probably talked about TikTok here before, but TikTok is kind of like the evolution of Vines or Musically, right? It's these little 15 to minute long video clips of people doing silly things. And they're primarily, my feed is pets, but that's another thing that TikTok does, is it learns what you like and it starts showing you more of it. So of course, once people start really liking and interacting with the platform, they've got to find a way to monetize it. They've allowed biddable ads, I think, since April of this year, right? You had to like go through a TikTok rep and say, I want to spend this much, and you're basically bidding on it kind of like you would bid on Google, like bidding on a cost per click basis, like how much are you willing to pay for a click, which isn't really how we pay for a lot of social ads anymore. So anyway, that's what it started out as. Now they're introducing something that's a lot like what Pinterest and Instagram are doing, which is shoppable ads right from the feed. So if you've been into Pinterest lately or Instagram lately, you know that you can actually purchase something basically without leaving the platform. You can be on mobile on Pinterest, be like, wow, I really like those shoes, click, and buy those shoes right from Pinterest and from Instagram. Conceivably, and they're testing this in a couple different geos, and we don't have like, big company confirmation on it yet, although we do have confirmation from quite a few people who've seen it, that you'll be able to do that starting on TikTok. Now, I'm thinking this is a great play for really broad range e-com stores, right? So like the toothbrush quip, right? Everybody needs a toothbrush. You can show a cool little gift and get people interested, and it's a fairly low price point. Click it to buy right away. This is the kind of thing that's going to succeed well, both with just shoppable ads, impulse buys, right? Because it happens so quickly, and ads that, or brands or products that really apply to a broad range of people. I think I have some stats on TikTok. Something like 60% of these folks are going to be under 35. So it isn't necessarily all teenagers, but it isn't probably the best place for the older products, or an older generation of products. They're not going to appreciate as much or interact with it as much. I love TikTok.
Yeah, it's super entertaining. It's like, instead of watching television, you'll just be on TikTok. And that's kind of the point, right? Like, people are spending so much money on television ads, and now they're going to be spending so much money on TikTok ads, or whatever it is, whatever platform it is. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can, again, I'm thinking that the way they've got to be able to do this is to get it into people's feeds based on their interests. So like I said, I'm kind of addicted to pet videos. Like I'm sure there are people who are addicted to baby videos, right? So I'm pretty sure that that's how they're going to start sort of streamlining these shoppable posts, right? They're going to put baby products into the people's feeds who like baby videos, and, pet products in the people's feed who like pet videos. Maybe they're totally going to jump over what Facebook's been doing the last 5 years and go straight to all machine learning, right? Like just give us some assets, give us some copy. We're going to put it where we say it's going to go, and we're going to show it in the format we're going to say it's going to go, and you guys are going to make money. So
Yeah, I mean, the technology's already there. I mean, this 2019, they can go ahead and just go right into that instead of having to do all the stuff Facebook's been doing. So that's, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I look forward to it. There's always going to be interesting stuff coming out. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're actually going to put our Black Friday Cyber Monday guide in our blog in case you haven't seen that yet. We'd love for you to just learn some of the tips that we have in there as well. And we thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
bye.